Tom from Jersey Village needs some painting advice.
Yeah, he talked to you, Tom. He says he talked to you about some satin versus semi-gloss paint at some point, and now he's moving on to the next step of his project. Tom writes to us, you indicated a primer was needed, and I plan to use 2 coats of quality paint. So the question is, which is better? Use a primer, let it dry, and then paint a second coat with the finishing paint, or the same with 2 coats using paint that has primer mixed in. Another paint company, by the way, says they have a similar paint with a mildew algae prevention in it for about 25% more. Do you think that's worth it?
The mildew, let's start with the mildewcide that's in that one. That helps for a little while and then it wears out. And that's for areas that are in the shade under oak trees and stuff, like siding areas that just tend to never get any sun. If it's a handrail and the sun goes around the house and hits it, don't bother with the extra expense, because your best mold and mildew preventiveness, whatever, is the sun.
Yeah, it's coming from the sun, right?
It's the sun. It's UV lights. It kills it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the best thing. So you probably don't need it unless it's under some real shade and trees and stuff. Secondly, the really good quality paints today don't have primer mixed in it. That's kind of a misnomer. They have a self-priming paint where 2 coats is the primer and the finish paint, because of the quality of it. And if that's the case, you're using really high-end paint, 2 coats of that is fine. Now, if you're on the coast and you have nail heads and screw heads and stuff, I would go first with a rusty primer and just hit the heads, and then go back with the paint, and that will keep that salt from eventually, and the salt will win, but eventually, rusting the nails through the paint, you'll see these little spots. So that helps a little bit. So you can put a little detail into that. You can get a quart of it. It doesn't take much. Just dab it on the nail heads. But as far as that goes, if you're using a standard paint, you're going to want to prime it, because this is probably pressure-treated lumber. If you're going to use a really good, which I would, exterior house paint, 2 coats, it's a self-priming paint, you'll be in good shape.
When you said go over the nails, that's essentially like doing like you do with the pigmented shellac almost, right? When you work inside, you're
stains and things,
locking it in. Okay.
Yeah, and pigmented shellac would work actually, but they have some rusty metal primer stuff that works well. Right. But either way, you just hit the heads of the nails, because if you're that's if you're on the coast. If you're somewhere else, it don't matter too much. But I think we talked. I kind of remember this question, and I think it was down on Bolivar.
Yeah, it's a beachfront. It's a beachfront house. Yeah, exactly. Good memory, Mr. Tynan. All right.
Yes.
All right. You got a question? We'd be happy to help you out, just like Tom helped Tom out here. Just go ahead and visit HomeShowRadio.com, click on the Ask Tom form, fill it in, send it in. We'll send back a video just like this. And we post them every day on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and at HomeShowRadio.com.